Hello and welcome to Dave's Random Item Show. As always, I'm your host, David G. Firestone. You know what? From here on out, every so often I'm going to do a random item show in my random item show because why not? I'm not going to make an exception joke because that's been done a million times. But I do have a valid reason for doing this because I have a lot of items in my collection that I do want to showcase, but I don't have enough resources and time to make a full video on. It simply wouldn't be possible. So I'm going to be doing just a sort of a random item show just to show off some of the various items in my collection, and we're going to start with this bowling pin. Not going to lie, I want a bowling pin. I've always wanted a bowling pin, and now I have a bowling pin. I specifically purchased this well-worn AMF Light 2 pin, according to Quibica AMF, I hope I pronounced that right, who currently owns the AMF company and trademarks, quote, "Made in America from the finest hardwood maple and 100% kiln dried, these are the most durable, high-scoring pins on the market, shattering one tournament record after another. Strictly premium quality, they feature exclusive compression molded construction, which results in a larger wooden core that extends pin life and boosts scoring. They offer a patented lock-in base that stays in place for the life of the pin to reduce sliding, and they're finished with a custom top coat for longer life and improved appearance and better performance in all machines." Now, the rest of these items I purchased during an antiquing session that occurred when a doctor's appointment got canceled and I had a day to do nothing. So in addition to these, I also bought some tokens, but I'm doing that for another video. Now, the first items are these two Technician 5th grade patches. According to Wikipedia, quote, "Technician 5th grade was a rank of the United States Army from 1942 to 1948. The rank was created to recognize enlisted soldiers with special technical skills but who were not trained as combat leaders. The rank of Technician 5th grade was authorized on January 26, 1942 per Executive Order 9041 and was adopted by the Army effective June 1st, 1942. The rank insignia was filed on September 4th, 1942, adding a block T below the existing two chevrons. Those who had the rank were addressed as corporal, the same as the corresponding non-commissioned officer at the same pay grade. The technician ranks were removed from the United States Army rank system on August 1st, 1948, though the concept was revived with specialist ranks in 1955. I purchased these two matching chevrons. I'm not sure specifically when they were used, but they were used between 42 and 48. I also bought a small lot of emblems from Oldsmobile, which from the 1970s and the 1980s. Oldsmobile is one of my favorite vintage car company logos, and I was able to find information on these logos from 1000logos.net. Link in the description. Go check them out. They're a really interesting site. Now, first we discussed this red throwback emblem. It was used in the late 70s, and it was based on the original Oldsmobile logo from 1887. And the original Oldsmobile logo featured a traditional ornate crest which was used until the end of the 19th century. The word mark was placed on a ribbon horizontally crossing the chest. Now we discuss my favorite Oldsmobile logo, this 1981 to 1996 Oldsmobile Rocket logo. The new geometrical Oldsmobile logo was born in 1960. It was one of the most perfectly designed versions of the brand's visual identity. The company created its new logo based on the popular Rocket V8 engine. The emblem features a vertical rectangular with an upright rocket. The rocket became the Oldsmobile symbol and has never left its visual identity since then. In 1980, the logo becomes more geometrical. The elongated rocket details are shorter to fit into a strict frame. It looks more modest and stylish now, evoking a sense of power and masculine elegance. This is a 1979 to 1984 tornado roof C-pillar emblem from an Oldsmobile tornado of that same time, and it was a unique logo for that era. Now, what is a Oldsmobile tornado, I hear you ask? Well, according to Wikipedia, quote, the third generation tornado was substantially downsized, losing nearly 1,000 pounds and 16 inches in length. Reflecting its 206-inch length and 114-inch wheelbase, it came equipped with the smaller Oldsmobile 350 cubic inch V8. The engine was rated at 170 horsepower and 270 pounds of torque, giving it a top speed of over 110 miles an hour and a 0 to 60 acceleration time of 9.4 seconds, which was one of the faster times for the era. The 307 cubic inch V8 pumping out 140 horsepower was introduced in 1980, and a larger 252 cubic inch version of the Buick V6, which pumped out 125 horsepower, shared with the Riviera, was made available from 1981 to 1984, but proved very unpopular due to its slow acceleration. Also offered in these years was the Oldsmobile's new diesel V8 that was based on the division's gasoline-powered 350 cubic inch V8, but with added block material. This engine was novel and economical, and sales were initially good, but the diesel engine quickly acquired a terrible mechanical reputation, becoming a genuine black eye for Oldsmobile. Many cars which originally came diesel equipped were converted to gasoline engines when the disgusted owners finally threw in the towel. The engine was revised through its life, which fixed many of the issues that hurt its reputation, but it was too late and the engine was eventually dropped. I also purchased some small Oldsmobile logos, including a Cutlass Supreme logo. Finally, I get to discuss my favorite part of this antiquing session, some glass insulators. Now, glass insulators are used on telephone, telegraph, and power lines. They act as a barrier between high voltage conductors and supporting structures, providing electricity from flowing where it is and where it shouldn't. On this last antiquing trip, I purchased a few Hemingway glass insulators. Now, who is Hemingway Glass, I hear you ask? Well, they had a long history. This information is provided from hemingwayglass.info. Check them out. They're a very interesting and informative website. And this is taken from their company history page. Again, go check them out. They're a very fascinating site. The Hemingway Glass Company began in 1848 under a different name, Gray and Hemingway, when Robert Hemingway and Ralph Gray found a partnership and established a glassworks in Cincinnati, Ohio. They wouldn't start producing insulators until the 1850s with the production of lightning rod insulators and telegraph glasses. In 1852, they began moving their operations to Covington, Kentucky. In the 1850s and 1860s, the company went through several different name changes. and in 1870 they became the Hemingway Glass Company. Their first big break for Hemingway came in December 19, 1871, when Robert Hemingway received a patent for an improved technique for molding insulators, and many of Hemingway's early insulators bear this patent date. In 1888, after 2 consecutive years of flooding at its Cincinnati location, Hemingway opened their second factory in Muncie, Indiana, where production continued. Their second big patent break was on May 2, 1893, where Ralph G. Hemingway and James C. Gill received their patent for drip points, a feature that was designed to draw condensation off the insulator and prevent water from causing a short circuit from the insulator to the wooden pin. Many of these Hemingway insulators bore this patent date for decades, with specimens dating into the 1920s. The Covington, Kentucky location closed around 1919. The 1930s were a big change for Hemingway when the company was purchased by Owens, Illinois, and they began producing clear insulators as the Hemingway division. They also phased out any usage of the drip points of the sharp drip points and began replacing them with the round drip points. In 1837, Hemingway manufactured its 1 billionth insulator. In 1951, Owens Corning changed the Hemingway branded line of insulators designed for primary powder distribution to the Kimball trademark, and a handful of styles can be found with this embossing, in many cases engraved over Hemingway. However, insulator production continued under the Hemingway trademark as well. The corrugated base was also introduced as an alternative to drip points, which presented a rough crosshatch style base intended to disrupt moisture from creeping up inside the skirt. In 1967, the last Hemingway insulator was produced. The Muncie, Indiana factory continued to manufacture glass TV face panels, but closed permanently in 1972. Thus ended the long history of one of the largest glass insulator manufacturers. On this antiquing trip, I also purchased 3 Hemingway glass insulators, a Hemingway 19, a Hemingway 17, and a Hemingway 42. Let's discuss the Hemingway 19 first, as it's the smallest of the group. It was made from the 1940s to the 1960s. It's 3 7/8 inches high by 3 1/8 inches wide. Its primary embossing is Hemingway, and it was primarily used for power lines. Let's discuss the middle of the 3, the Hemingway 17, which was also known as the Hemingway 16. It was made from 1919 to the 1960s. It's 4 inches high by 2 7/8 inches wide. Its primary embossing is Hemingway, and it was used for long-distance telephone lines. And now for the final item of the video, the largest of the 3 insulators, the Hemingway 42. Also sold under the name Double Petticoat, it's 24 ounces, and it was made from 1921 to the 1960s. It's 4 inches high by 3 5/8 inches wide. Its primary embossing was Hemingway, and it was used for telegraph lines. And that's the end of the video, folks. We're going to be doing some animation cells for next month's edition of Dave's Random Item Show. I'm looking forward to that. I'm Dave Farson. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you next time.